Alright, not gonna lie, that's way too much. I'm not gonna do all that because that's a lot. But I heard you had to have a hook in a video, so that is my hook. Alright, that's my attention getter. I got bored, so you know what I'm about to do? I'm about to do the entire history of Time Bomb. But this is just part one, because I'm not about to do all that in one video. I'm too lazy to do all that. So yeah, that's all I'm doing. Alright, if y'all want the link to this thing, to where I got the information from, I'm gonna put it in the link in the description. May 2015. When Ekko was released in the League of Legends, you know what his first line to seeing Jinx for the first time was? I had a crush until you started talking to the what? To the gun. I'm trying to tell you, I remember when I tried to look that up. This is really what started it all. Then in 2016, in the League of Legends art book, you know who they said right beside each other? You already know who they said beside each other. Them two, Ekko and Jinx. So people already knew they were closer than they should have been, you know? Because nobody really had the lore back then. But they do now. But one piece of lore that people did have was that in the wiki, Jinx and Ekko were actually friends and rivals. So people want to find out how they were actually connected. October 2019, this is where it really started kicking in, alright? True Damage Ekko. That music video, this is where he really starts getting his dread. The Arcane poster was actually teased. They had some Jinx inside the video, bro. They had some of her heart-shaped stickers. She has the Jinx was here, and then they have the firelight or the hourglass sticker, and Jinx was here facing each other on opposite sides. They know what they were doing. They knew what they were doing. Then they can't convince me they didn't. They can't convince me otherwise. And then they said there's clip effects that look awfully similar to Jinx's quote-unquote psycho effects. I'm trying to tell you, they already knew what they were doing. And then they had some X's on Ekko's face that is Jinx's symbol. You already know what I'm talking about. The paint on their chest. Oh my gosh. Both of them had two painted X's on their chest. Alright, I gotta move on. April 2020, when a True Genius cinematic came out for League of Runeterra, there were some parallels with Ekko and Jinx being rivals. They're both geniuses. You see this? They are actually working on two different things. Do you know what this reminds me of? Season 2, episode 7, when Ekko and Powder, when they were making a Z-drop. And you're telling me that they didn't do this on purpose? Geniuses put together? Genius and madness? W. Then we got June 2021, right before Arcane came out. Arcane Season 1. You know, in League of Runeterra, Ekko got a new voice line. You know what he said? Man, I miss you so much. I'm trying to tell you. And then he got another voice line, giving out Jinx's real name for the first time. Powder. Never mind. Oh, this fed the entire thing, the entire community, for like 5 months. Alright. October 2021. You know what came out? The Enemy music video. This was the prime time of Jinx and Ekko's childhood that they didn't put in the show. They really showed their little connection. They showed them jumping up and down on the trampoline, them sitting down watching Vi fight, and them practicing Vi fighting at the same time. And I'm pretty sure the ball right here, I'm pretty sure Ekko didn't let anybody touch it besides Jinx. I read that somewhere. I just don't feel like looking it up to fact check it, because I'm too lazy to do all that. And let me tell you one thing, bro. This is where the firelight come out of Powder mouth. We already know what the firelight mean. I'm about to just sit back and talk real quick. Alright, why didn't they put this in the show? I do not care. I needed this in the show. 5 more minutes of just them. 5 more minutes of just them as kids. I need some childhood, like, fun times, because we only had 3 episodes of something, anything grateful. Alright, joyful. Like, I'm trying to tell you, we needed this. Then we have Arno actually answering some of the questions from journalists, saying that the music video was things that happened right after episode 1, so we know what the series is gonna be about, and that Powder has a little hero. Her best friend. You know who that is? Ekko. Who else would it be, bro? Who else would it be? Who else was she with in the music video? Ekko, bro. And you know what's crazy? When they were practice fighting, nobody else saw them. They don't show anybody else but each other. W friendship, W. Later on, Bartholomew said that the main goal of the video was to show Ekko and Powder's story together, which relates to Arcane's main plot. And that Powder's little hero, Ekko, their friendship, is actually too good, man. It's too good. Then November 2021, this is where Teamfight Tactics, that video came out, and it showed that Jinx and Ekko actually shared the same lab that they were making their stuff in. These two are too smart, and this is where the joke Time Bomb roommates stemmed from. Like, I didn't even know this is where it came from, but I remember watching this video a little while ago. I have to watch it again, because you already know why. We're now on Act 1. We already knew that Powder and Ekko are really close, but you know her nickname for Ekko? Little Man. Think about it. Season 2, episode 7. What did Benzo call Powder? Where the little lady at? W callback. Now we're gonna say this real quick, because we already knew that they were really close. But Netflix Japan posted a relationship chart, right? It shows that Ekko ties directly to Powder, which means them two were the closest out of everybody, right? And that means that he's the one that trusted her the most, and she's the one that trusted him the most. So think about it, right? These two We're just meant to be. I'm not even about to go crazy. They're just meant to be. But when they were attacked by the enforcers, Powder and Ekko were still talking, bro. Powder showed Ekko her new invention, and then when Powder's about to fall later on, Ekko was looking right at her. She was like, she about to fall, va? And she really was. That means he was just paying attention to her the entire time. W. Now we're on the part, bro. Goodbye. That song, the ending song for Act 1, is actually by Christian Link. He said it portrays Jinx's vulnerable side and shows a lot of the raw emotion that Jinx goes through. Come on, bro. Come on. Listen to the lyrics real quick. Where is my home? I don't recognize the faces anymore. Where is my friend? The one I've known since I was only just a kid. I think it's time to say goodbye. These two, bro, I don't understand, bro. She already knew that he was one of her closest friends, or the closest friend. And then later on, you already know what happens, bro. They have to fight anyway, bro. Man. But yeah, that's probably where I'm going to end part 1. Not gonna lie, because I don't want this video to go too long. And I think that's a great way to end it. Goodbye from Act 1. Great way. This is part 2 of the time bomb history. So let's just get into it. Act 2, this is the peak of their enemies dynamic. And for someone who knew Jinx, and who knew it was Jinx, Ekko moved very slow. You see the way that he stood there whenever Jinx threw her little bombs? There is no reason why he should be moving this slow. Oh, she really destroyed her high mask real quick, I'm not even gonna lie. She said, hi, and then, but look, she saw Ekko and she was like, I don't even care no more. She was real mad. Look, but Ekko tried to restrain her, unlike Scar, who actually tried to fight her and got drop kicked. You already know what happened then. But still, Ekko soon only lost his temper whenever she shot Eve. He didn't do nothing else the entire time, but as soon as she did that, he tried to attack. And that's another case that Jinx triggers his emotional side. Let me tell you why. Because she attacked his friends. Even when Scar saved him, Ekko kept looking at her. Scar didn't even let him go until Jinx was out of sight. Cause Ekko, you know you still want to save her, obviously. In their next fight, the Firelights actually just tried to fight them all the way. But you know who took the most passive role in the entire fight? Ekko. Tell me one thing, when I saw the fight, did y'all see Ekko really do anything? No. Ekko chose the most peaceful option possible, because you already knew what Scar and him was going to do to Vi. And he was like, nah, keep her. Take her with us. Now we're on to Act 3. This man Ekko and this girl Jinx have the exact same mind. They both said people change. Ekko was referring to how Powder changed the Jinx, and Jinx was talking about how she changed the Jinx. I'm trying to tell you. And the past is still messing with Ekko. This man said it's a good way to drive yourself crazy. Because if I was there in the past, none of that would have happened. Like, think about that. He blames everything that happened because of Silco. Everything is Silco's fault. Jinx being hurt is Silco's fault. Like, think about it. He doesn't even blame. Okay, he blames Jinx, but he blames Silco above everything. I'm trying to. And this goes to show that he tried to save Jinx one time. He said Silco is the one that has her. Like, you can't save her anymore. Because think about it. There's a deleted scene where he went in there to try to save her, and she pushed him away. Dang. Now we're on to the bridge scene, bro. Look at this. She said, look who it is, the boy savior. She's mocking Ekko for him trying to save her back in the day. And you can tell that he's visibly upset, but trying to hold himself up, trying not to get too mad. They had that little funny part where they laughed and stuff. And they laughing at each other, thinking about all the fun times they used to have, and thinking about what game they're about to play. But think about the song they played, Dynasties in Dystopia. Riot Games said themselves that some of them, like, this music was made to make a flirty, passive aggressive vibe. Okay, they didn't say that part, but they said that not all tracks are an afterthought. Some tracks are here to give more context into the scene. Listen to the lyrics real quick, alright? Everything I know I am, you should go and save yourself. Snap your ex, watch me give him flashbacks. And what's the whole song about, huh? What's the whole episode about? What's their whole fight? A flashback of when they were kids. Like, oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Ekko's POV is actually of the young Powder, of the smart girl that he remembers that she is. And the Jinx in his mind is her laughing and stuff. But in reality, she wasn't laughing at all. She actually looked more in despair than she does happy in that moment. When you see Kid Powder and Kid Ekko, you know what they have? Their symbols, Firefly and a crow. Darkness and light. Like, think about it. Yin and yang, two sides of the same coin. I can't, bro. Like, I gotta stop before I keep delving down into more of this stuff, okay? Because I gotta stop before I just keep yapping, alright? This girl is supposed to be one of the best, has some of the best aim in the entire series, and you're telling me she missed every single shot on Ekko. She missed every single shot on Ekko. Especially that last one. That last one, I'm not gonna lie, I was watching it and I was like, oh, she should have hit that. But think about it. What if she didn't want to because she knew how much damage that shot would have did to Ekko, and she didn't want to hurt an old friend? I'm done, bro. I'm done with that part. In the storyboards, the armor that Powder had to hit on Ekko was actually had a heart on it. And do you know who probably drew that? Powder herself. All right, because remember, she drew the monkey bomb on stuff. She drew all that, so she might have drawn that too. When Ekko was hitting her on the ground, he was so mad. Nothing that she said could really get to him. But the look in her eyes made him stop and see who she really was deep down, saying, "Oh, the only thing left is Jinx. Powder's gone." Why you lying to yourself? Looking in her eyes, you already knew Powder was deep down right there, and Jinx knew it too. You know what she tried to do? She tried to take both of them out at the same time. Made sure the last thing that she saw was Ekko, the one bright thing in her life she tried to take away, to try to keep herself in darkness. I'm done with this part. The song that's playing when Ekko realizes that Jinx actually has some powder in her is the soundtrack Old Friend. Like, I don't know, they're geniuses, bro. Like, Ekko just looks at her eyes, she just looks in his eyes, and they know that they shouldn't be fighting. Like, bro. But her and Ekko sit the exact same way inside the seats. They have max aura, bro. Every single time they sit down, I don't know. This is one of the best scenes I've ever seen in my life. There's no reason why y'all should be looking this cool sitting down. If this is Zon's style of sitting down, I need to adopt that immediately, because there's no reason why both of them should be doing the same exact thing. Like, look at them. They're both leaders of their place too. He's a leader of the Firelight. She's a leader of the Underground. Like, these two, W, bro, W. And I'm done. Yeah, and this is just a part 2. I'm just finishing Act 2 right now. This is like a shorter one, but still, next one's probably gonna be Act 3, and then Season 2, and then some stuff in the middle of that, of course. But yeah, this is just one of the shorter ones, so I'm done with this, because this is a good way to end it off. Them sitting down like this. I don't know when the next one's gonna come out. It's probably gonna come out like 2, 3, 4, 5 days. I don't know. Runeterra posted a thing called "Let the Show Begin," where they have Jinx actually cheering for Ekko. This was posted right before the bridge scene even came out. A day after the Jinx versus Ekko fight scene was out on the bridge, Project L had came out hyping up their fight as well. The game has a mechanic where people could team up, and they had a part where they teamed Jinx and Ekko up together. So time bomb teamwork was actually demonstrated. In the council archives, Jinx had a line about Ekko saying, "We were just kids," signifying that they were just kids when this all happened. This is the reason why they are the way they are now. Look, the bond that they had when they were kids isn't the same bond they had now, but they can still go back to the bond that they had in the past. Amanda, one of the showrunners, had answered some of people's questions. Somebody asked, what was Ekko and Jinx thinking when they were looking at each other, why they stopped fighting? Amanda said Ekko stopped fighting because he recognized his friend Powder. Jinx does not have a healthy fear of you know what. That's kind of crazy. He would have still kept punching if he didn't realize the softness in her eyes, didn't recognize the friend that she used to be to him. I can't believe it. Amanda even liked the question somebody asked, is Ekko still in love with Powder? Obviously. No, there's nothing else I can say, but obviously, okay? She liked it because it was an obvious question. There was no reason to ask that. But guess what? Asking that gave some more confirmation. Kind of crazy, bro. In December of 2021, Netflix Friends posted a clip of the fight between Ekko and Jinx, calling it a highlight of 2021. But you know how people usually do Ekko versus Jinx for the fight? They did Ekko X Jinx, and we all know what that X means. Any type of ship, anything that people do, what they do? Somebody X somebody. Because it's like a hugging emoji. They need to be together. I'm trying to say, bro. And it was also liked by Nicole Laurent, I think that's how you pronounce the name, the CEO of Riot Games. Another part of the solid approval. I can't believe it, bro. There was a skin called Firelight Ekko, which was released for one of the chromas in PBE, and guess what? It has a shark head on his hood eye. Meanwhile, Jinx is known for her sharp-shaped fish bones gun. Her little rocket launcher, the shark on his head, you know what Ekko got on his head? A shark, bro. Like, you can't even try to play deniability on this, because we all know what that shark head was for. Oh, we all know what that shark head was for. We know who that was alluding to, and we know by the season 2 as well. Alright. Amanda had confirmed that Jinx always knew that Ekko's identity was the Firelight leader. Alright, this is why she always looked at him weird whenever she saw him. Amanda even teased the potential of mutual feelings, and also never denied the romantic side of them. All the questions about more scenes between Jinx and Ekko got silent teasing. These questions still weren't even ignored, which is crazy. She's used the emoji of the zipped up mouth. And then Reed, we already know about Reed Shannon, bro, the biggest time bomb person, all right? The VA who thinks a time bomb more than the fans themselves, all right? He posted Mush's time bomb art on his Instagram, all right? In January 2022, back in November, Reed even said that his song Bad Girl could describe Ekko's feelings for Jinx. At first, he requested some edits with Ekko to his song, but guess what? He even said what he really wanted, all right? Hashtag time bomb. Don't get him twisted, bro, because that's all he really thinks about when it comes to Arcane. He's one of the biggest soldiers, bro. Wild Rift posted something called Wild Tales, which are crumbs from them, alright? They posted a photo of Jinx's computer, and you know what she had as a photo on her stuff as a tag? Her and Ekko side by side. August, a designer who already liked all of Mush's time bomb fan arts, retweeted some of them, including an Academy AU comic. Look at this, bro. About if Ekko and Jinx knew each other in an alternate universe going to the same academy. I can't, bro. Now we got Riot Games retweeting one of the best time bomb fan arts ever. I'm not gonna lie, this is one of the best fan arts I've ever seen. I even saved this one and had it as my wallpaper. But they said, I can give you the world. They quoted this that they have no connection with. They just found this one and just connected and just quoted a romantic song. And July, bro. They even said, I wonder what type of music that they would have if they worked together. They teased Ekko and Jinx making music together. In March of 2022, Daniel had a Twitch stream with Andre, one of the animators that were working on the last part of season 1 and working on season 2 during that time. And there was a part where they talked about time bomb and the ships, and Andre said that this is a spoiler-free stream, so that means that they were already working on having Ekko and Jinx have a bond in the second season. But I don't know how to pronounce her last name, so I just wasn't gonna say it. But that means that they were already working on them being together, having every single thing already screenplayed out and everything during this time. The creators of Arcane, Christian Link and Alex Ye, I think that's how you pronounce his last name, joined the Baptist Twitch stream to answer the fans' questions. Once again, it was confirmed that the Enemy music video is indeed canon and serves as a mini prequel to the show. Absolute cinema. What's up, guys? I'm back like I never left. So Christian mentioned in the interview saying that Bartholomew had the whole direction idea for the Enemy music video, alright? He was like, let's have it so Ekko and Powder's relationship can actually get explored as kids, you know what I mean? Like, show their friendship, show their bond. And let me ask one question. Why didn't you put this in the show, huh? This is something that needs to be in the show, not something that some people aren't going to look at. Let me tell you one thing. I watched the music video. It was fire, right? All these scenes were fire. But why didn't you put this in the show? I'm not going to lie. We need a season 3 to see all this again. Alright, we need season 3 to really go into their, you know what I mean? Go into their bond as kids, because they missed all that in that first act. There was a more specific question that the Christian tried to be a little subtle with. Oh, yeah, I know Jinx called Ekko the boy savior, but does everybody else call him that? He was like, I don't know if everybody else call him that, but that definitely describes what he really is. And let me tell you what, she already knew. And then Alex was like, oh yeah, I'm so glad he took that careful approach, because there's a lot to the story that hasn't been told, because they gotta start ducking and dodging some of these questions, because some of this stuff can be told in the future. You already know what this means, huh? I need a season 3 right now, bro. I know they're trying to get Nox and all that, but I need a season 3. I'm not gonna lie to you, I need NEED a season 3, bro. Then Chris wanted to talk about episode 7. There was another scene in episode 7 that unfortunately or fortunately didn't make the cut, because it would have made the episode too long. And let me tell you one thing, this scene right here that he's talking about would have made this episode too long. I don't care. It would have made it longer, but we need a longer, you know what I mean? Oh my gosh, bro. The reason why I'm so worked up is because this is the scene where Ekko went to go save Powder from Silco's lair when they were younger, presumably. And this is the reason why Jinx calls him the boy savior later on that episode, which would have made so much sense, right? It wouldn't have been, oh yeah, he saves everybody, so yeah, he's called the boy savior. No, they would have had a scene in the beginning that would have fleshed out why she called him the boy savior, which would have had multiple different meanings. You know what I mean, bro? And it looks like this part is supposed to be saved for a later part of the series, but you know what that means. Season 3. I don't care, bro. Delusion. I don't care. Delusion means great thoughts, bro. Alright? You can be delusional, but guess what? That means you have an imagination, which means you can bring on some more thoughts. Let me stop right. In the end, though, Christian and Alex teased that despite the cut, we can expect more. And they said, and I quote, And I don't know. Hopefully we can explore it at some point in the future. You know, it was really cool, bro. But yeah, just wanted to make sure not to ruin their evening by not telling you anything substantial about this. But you know, there's some more. And then Alex said there's a tidbit. Hey. Then Reed Shannon. If you don't know Reed Shannon, I don't know where you are, bro. Ekko's voice actor, we already know how he is, bro. He was reposting all this time bomb content, right? And he said, to be honest, I like that Jinx kind of crazy. Oh, whoa, slow down. That's a whoa. I mean, whoa. I'm telling you, this dude, I'm not reading all that. But hey, he kind of smooth though. Amanda Overton, she's one of the little writers. She was like, oh yeah, I mentioned one of the flashbacks and saying that it might be something that they want to do in the future. And let me tell you one thing, all right? If they make a season 3, which I'm losing hope, but guess what? That hope is still rising. You know why I might be losing the hope? It's also rising, consistently rising while I'm losing it. So it's like the equilibrium, but the rising portion is like right there. You know what I mean? And they better use it. She said she might use in the future. So Riot Music also posted a Grammy illustration which featured Ekko and Ari as True Damage and KD8 representatives. However, Jinx's selfie with them was a nice surprise. Let me tell you why. Because Jinx is like, look at Ekko in the background. Look at Ari. Look at them. Look at Ekko for real though. That's what I'm talking about. Look at Ekko. That's what I'm saying, baby. That's what I'm saying, bro. But it's interesting that both Ekko and Jinx have small references to their Arcane self. Jinx still has her blue eyes, and Ekko poses with his famous hoverboard, baby. The post was liked by Christian Link, Arcane's creator as well. If you zoom in a little closer to the thing, if you zoom in a little closer to the pattern on Jinx's clothes, it's also the True Damages group emblem. But if you really break it down, analyze it a little bit more, break it down, pull it out, pull apart the threads, put on your colorblind glasses, you know what you will see? That is yellow and purple. And you know what else? You know who else is known for his yellow and purple colors, huh? You just take a wild guess, huh? Nobody else but Ekko. Look at this, bro. This is what I'm talking about. You see the way she cheesing, bro? Look at the way Ekko is, or he's in the background just smile, just look at him, bro. He's a model, and look at her posing for the picture too. Oh my gosh, W. You know, Christian retweeted an art with hashtag time bomb. Whoa. You know what? I'm just gonna keep that in. All right. He retweeted an art with hashtag time bomb hashtag. Who the freak says this, bro? Why'd you write it like this? That's why it mixed up my brain, because my brain is too slow and too small to really interpret and autocorrect that. All right, the autocorrect feature in my brain didn't even really respond to that. You can tell you why? Because I just can't. Because I can read, but I couldn't pick apart the hashtag time bomb from the other hashtag, which threw me off. You know what? Now I'm rambling. For this, he retweeted only an Ekko and powder art back in early November, so it was a pleasant surprise to see that one of the Arcane creators went back to appreciating content, which doesn't hide a shift intention, because I'm not gonna lie, nobody retweets a hashtag time bomb without knowing what the hashtag time bomb means, baby. We all know what that means. Now, May 2022, Amanda, we already know Amanda Overton, one of the best. Oh, what are the top tiers? Confessed in her interview that Time Bomb fight was her favorite fight scene in the entire show. Besides all the credits for unique visuals for episode 7 Firelight's introduction and Ekko vs Jinx were given to Fortitia's creativity. But alright, you know what? I'm gonna add my own interpretation of this, okay? See, we already got is the Time Bomb archives thing, right? The Time Bomb stuff, Time Bomb. But let me tell you one thing, alright? The reason why it was her favorite thing, let me tell you why. Oh, it says because it mimics something of their childhood. The childhood that they didn't show us. You know what? You gotta watch a music video to find out their childhood. So guess what? If they would put that in the show, man, you don't even understand, bro. That bond would have been even closer. People would understand that bond even more. But the reason why this is her favorite, because she was remembering about the flashback scene that they didn't put into the show for some odd reason. The part that I want to see the entire time. The part that I wanted in season 2, but guess what? Now they're gonna put it in season 3, maybe. Look, see, I have hope because they forgot to put that scene in. So guess what? They're gonna make a season 3. They're gonna top it up, make another season 4. They're gonna be like, oh yeah, season 2 is just these two seasons, but even longer. Boom, right? But yeah. Oh yeah, they're gonna do all this, right? And the reason why she likes it so much because she remembered that. And remembered how she remembered the face Jinx made the Ekko on the bridge. I might put a picture right here. I might not. You know what? I'm probably not. I don't feel like doing that. But yeah, she's probably thinking about it. Oh yeah, this is why it's my favorite scene. You see the way Ekko was hesitating. remember the childhood. Then think of it. In her head, she was thinking of the flashback while this was happening. When this part plays, it's like a flashback of their two childhood, them jumping on the bed, all that coming to fruition. And then, right while she's looking at him, she sees a small Ekko. While he's looking at her, he sees a powder, and that's why he hesitates to fight. And then next scene, right, she has the grenade in her hand. Before she takes the clip off the grenade, the pin off the grenade, she sees him. She sees his young face flickering back to the present him, right? So let me tell you one thing. In August, Jinx's and Ekko's game designer tweeted about Ekko's old R, which if you play any other games besides League of Legends, that's their ultimate ability, the most powerful ability in the game, right? Which allowed him to grab somebody and pull them back in time with him. But you know who they use as a demonstration? We might be looking too much into this. You might be a little delusional. But you gotta be a little delusional to be able to think for real, right? They use Jinx. And it's kind of funny that they use Jinx. Funny that Jinx served as a demonstration model. I'm not gonna lie. Funny that Jinx served as a demonstration model. I read that straight off the thing. So I'm not taking credit for that. Actually, I am taking credit from whoever did this, because now I'm the source. All right, they're no longer the source. I'm thinking all this myself, 100%. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? Wait, August is the name. I said in August. I'm sorry, August. Nothing was in you. Ooh, whoa. But August wasn't the only one. Looks like Riot was very fond of the bridge scene. That's why Jinx is Ekko's main opponent appeared in the official skills demonstration video for the Wild Rift as well. I'm not gonna lie, they spelled appeared wrong. And then Ekko finally joined Wild Rift. They made a little trailer for him. But you wanna know what was in the background of the trailer? Jinx's presence, bro. Little hints of Jinx's graffiti presence, you know what I mean? And while Ekko was falling, you know, he was running away from the pursuers, and he was very confident. But then his expression changed. You wanna know what is coincidental? The second his expression changed, Jinx's monkey graffiti was passing by. Think about that, bro. It literally softened the second that it came through. I might sound a little delusional, right? But delusion creates ideas, right? But if I keep making ideas, this thing's gonna be like 45 minutes long, and I don't know if I can export that big of a video. So we're just gonna stop it right here. Wild Rift wasn't the only time that Jinx's graffiti popped up while Ekko was falling. This also happened back in 2020, okay? Let me tell you one thing, bro. And then ever since then, the quantity of Jinx hints and Ekko content only increased, bro. When Ekko fell into the little trash stuff, bro. Wait, actually, this wasn't trash. Is this when he was fighting for the first time when he got the little Z drive? Graffiti aside, Jinx also left her monkey bomb and her classic grenade this time. So let me tell you one thing. She was like, here, Ekko, if you ever need this, use this. Even if you don't have that Z drive with you. W. Wait, real question though. If he picks the thing up, right? If he picks the bomb up and he has it with him and he goes back 4 seconds, will the bomb be there? You know what I mean? Because I'm pretty sure everything with him still stays with him. Like, I know his injuries and stuff stay with him. So if he grabs something and puts it close to him and then boom, goes back 4 seconds, does the thing on the ground duplicate? Because if that's the case, because if we really use really retrospect, yeah, if we use our really imagination, if we use information from the show, we would know, or information in general. Anytime Ekko gets injured, his clothes and stuff still stay the same whenever he's using the Z drive. So I think the Z drive gets a little aura around him. So if he's holding something and he uses it, the thing won't go back. It will stay in his hand, but it would be like in his original place. You know? So maybe if we really use our minds for real, he could duplicate things. That's a W. Unless whenever he picks something up, it just doesn't be there anymore. It's just gone. But if that's the case, he's not actually going back 4 seconds. He's going back 4 seconds, but he's not going back 4 seconds at the same time. He's not going back to the exact 4 seconds he was just at, which wouldn't make sense because I'm pretty sure whenever he goes back 4 seconds, everything stays the same. So if he picks something up and goes back 4 seconds, if he goes back before he picked it up, it would be on the ground, but also be in his hand at the same time. You know, this is a really long ramble. So let me stop. So let's go back a little bit. Speaking of grenades, Ekko used a trick Jinx could be proud of. He used a pink explosion, and that pink explosion made the parallel even more obvious. Because when does Ekko ever use a pink explosion, huh? He's always blue. He uses the little Z drop. He uses all that stuff. He never uses the pink explosion. Let me tell you one thing. The delusion. No, not even delusion. The imagination tells me the fact. The facts tell me the facts. You know what I mean? The hints tell me that this is true. One of the drafts where Ekko's key art illustration demonstrated that Jinx is still indeed a part of his life, even though their game is rather dangerous. The boy just grins happily, clearly having fun. It's called Ekko playing with Jinx. W, bro. What, is she shooting at him? It doesn't matter, bro. It might be dangerous, but this is the game they played when they were kids. So guess what, bro? They're having fun, and that's where I'm gonna end this one, bro. That was nice.